look at what he looks like in the game itself, but what is kind of his overall theming here? I mean, Vivian, you mentioned Sky God. What can we expect from Olorun in the gameplay that can kind of reflect that, Clumsy?
Well, Olorun is, as I think we've spoiled a little bit earlier in the Closer Look blog, he is a mage ADC. So he is definitely very much a mage. He builds magical items, but we designed him first and foremost as a hunter in mind. And that's not just, the way he attacks, but also his abilities as well. You're going to see, as we go through the kit, that he's designed as a hunter. You're going to feel and play as a hunter, even though you are technically a mage.
Okay, so lots of auto attacks. Keep that in mind as you're kind of watching the kit. But of course, as a mage, he'll have some pretty impactful abilities as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you read the spoiler blog, then you should know that the ult is going to do some stuff. But we will get there.
So yeah, I mean, what we've been doing recently is we just let Pont do his thing.
Oh yeah,
we go crazy on a couple of abilities and
let Pon loose, huh?
Kick it off.
Go for it.
Let's see what he got.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, I'm seeing it now, and okay, we got some extra.
We got a little bit of everything in there.
So there's got a lot going on. Let's slow it down and kind of talk to you guys about it first. Now, let's start with the passive. Or no, I'm sorry. Let's
the
start
basic
with the
attacks first.
Right.
Yeah.
I love I mean, you want to talk about flowing and sky animation? My dude is just kind of casually killing you with his auto attacks.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of time and preparation built into his auto attacks. As you can see there, he's actually got, we wanted to build up the fact that he's a tripartite god, not just in his lore, obviously, but in the rest of his kit. So what you have there is you have his other forms of himself in animations, in meshes, coming out with every single basic attack. That was not an easy task to do, and we didn't do it lightly, but I think it came out pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we also have the Morrigan. That's kind of another one of our gods. That's a multi-aspect, and hers are brought
exactly.
in.
She's got her sisters.
One, so this one, kind of with every single basic attack, you can see those extra forms of Olorun. So let's go into the passive from here.
The passive's got a couple things going on.
It's the main thing. Let's start with what right there.
Well, what you're seeing and hearing there actually is, as we've spoiled as well, he's a mage hunter and he can crit. He does, so that doesn't mean he buys physical items, right? As you can see right there on the screen, he's got magical items built, and his passive is Touch of Fate. Upon reaching 150 magical power from items, although there's some circumstances where that might change, Olorun gains immediately 15% critical hit chance, and a further 1% for every 10 magical power that he buys from items. Now, do note, because there's actually a lot of people speculating online, that his critical hits only hit for an extra 50%, so not the normal 100% that physical crits usually would hit for.
Okay, so we just saw Pon go back, buy some items. He was at 25% on his meter, now 47%. So
yeah, exactly. You can see that on the meter. So he's got that 470 magical power. But again, it's from items, although that means Fafnir buff and there's other abilities out there that might increase your magical power. This won't increase your critical hit chance, but there's other things in the game sometimes that give you magical power from items. I believe red buff will actually give you a little boost through your magical power for items, and that'll help him out. Bancroft as well is actually pretty interesting, because if you lose health, you're actually gaining more magical power, giving him more crit chance.
Okay, so a good item on him for sure, the Bancroft's talent. 47, yeah, it gives him 5%. Now, don't take any of my red buffs when I'm playing Olorun.
Those are his.
They get even better on him.
And I do believe we also cap out his crit chance at his end level.
Exactly. Around 70%, I believe, is his maximum crit chance, so you can't ever get to 100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not crit at that point, just extra damage.
Right. Yeah, not exactly crit in that instance. Let's start with the one then. Focused Light. So he channels an orb in front of him. Seems to grow as it goes along.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this ability.
We wanted to do this kind of tech for a little while, and we thought this would be an awesome place to put it. So he actually has 2 seconds once he starts using this ability to refire, or you can hold up for the full 2 seconds, and it'll go off automatically. Once you've started casting this ability, you are not stopping it. You cannot right-click or cancel on your controller to stop this ability. It is going to fire. You just have to refire it. Although enemies can crowd control you to stop you from casting it, and because you're not getting any benefit, you will be able to refire it again after that.
Okay, so you can get interrupted, but it won't go on cooldown because you're not getting any additional benefit.
Right, exactly.
This targeter is pretty unique, though. I mean, is the hitbox size changing as it's charging?
No, so there's two components. There's the one that grows outwards, and that's going to show you the range that the projectile will travel to. But the horizontal component, that's just kind of give you an element of the timing, how long you have left until it's going to automatically fire.
Great. Okay, and this stops on first god hit, but it pierces minions?
Exactly. It stops on first god hit, pierces through minions, and as you can see, I think a few times there, it can also critically hit based off of his passive.
Yeah, that's kind of the one that I think people are going to get excited about. A crit on this ability that it can be very, very long range. Does it gain damage as you charge it, or does it always have the same
it'll
damage?
always be the same amount of damage, obviously going up per rank of your level, but
Sure.
it's not per travel.
Okay. Now, it also interacts with his 2, but we'll
Yeah,
get
we'll
there
go
after
into
we
that,
go over
exactly.
Yeah.
the 2 itself. Go ahead.
And we'll just talk a little bit about like the visuals for that, if you guys have any thoughts
Yeah,
on,
no, our FX RS1 did an amazing job with like just the orb projectile, because like if you look at it closely, it's like a legitimate sun with like solar flares coming off it and everything.
Yeah, especially when there's already an ability in Kepri's 2, Rising Dawn, that is kind of supposed to be a rolling sun. It's you have to differentiate those.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know, he is the creator of, and he is the heavenly god. We wanted to impart the solar orb a few times in different places in his kit.
Yep.
Looks awesome there, the rolling sun on the one. Okay, number 2, overflowing divinity. So this is
right.
an attack speed stim.
Yeah, it's an attack
first?
speed stim with a couple of other components. So, as you can see there, he empowers his bracers, and he's got this kind of FX UI element above him. So, the first part of this is he just gains attack speed, a flat amount of attack speed. Remember, he's an ability hunter, and we felt that was pretty necessary for his kit. But the other thing that you can do there is, if you can see, his ability icon actually swaps. Now, the more enemies you hit successfully while you have the stim active, you're actually going to fuel that passive gauge meter there. So, you're going to be gaining ammo while the stim is active. And then at any point during the stim, or for 4 seconds afterwards, you can actually recast this ability to fire all of those projectiles that you've gathered in a sun orb.
So cool. It's just such a sweet ability to use. I did get a chance to playtest Olorun not too long ago, and this was the ability where I was like, man, I am having so much fun messing around with this.
Yeah.
Now, the easiest way to tell, just for a tip for you guys, is look at the buff bar right above your health, right above your HP bar. You'll see where you're getting how much longer you have the attack speed stim for, and then how much longer you can fire the suns for. But you don't have to fire the suns every time.
No, that's right. You can hold on, a couple more seconds until your cooldown's back up, or a couple minutes if you want to really hold those 20 ammo charges. Also, as Spawn's about to show, there's a special interaction. If you have your 2 active and you fire through minions, or even at gods, you'll be able to stack up your ammo count as well.
Okay, so a nice little combo there. Pop the 2, charge the 1, shoot it through the wave, and then sunbeam
fire out that overflowing divinity.
Right.
It's also cool to note that for when you activate your stim, that's when your cooldown for this ability starts. So if you fire your sun early, it still has the same amount of cooldown time as if you lay it off late.
Okay. Okay, that's definitely good to know. You don't have to worry about any firing it to mess with your cooldown or anything.
And a couple really quick last things as well. As you can see, the more ammo you have, the more the area of effect actually starts to randomize.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of shots in the middle, and then it starts moving out in different directions, and the rate of fire actually increases as well the more ammo you have. So there's a couple of different things there that are going to make this ability feel more like, explosive sun flares coming out from that sun above you. It shouldn't affect the balance of the ability too much, because the first hit is going to do the maximum amount of damage, and then every hit on the same target after that will actually do reduced damage to a very, very low minimum.
Okay, so you can't just get one shot basically if you're standing in it forever.
Oh, I mean, if you take all 20 shots, you're going to
gonna
take
hit.
a good amount of damage
Well,
regardless.
maybe I spoke a bit too soon on that one, but and the other thing is that you can store your ammo. Basically, you don't have to shoot the suns
Right, exactly.
every time.
You don't have
So
to shoot immediately.
You can just hold on to those. Basically,
Get ready for a team fight, have 20 shots because that's the maximum allowed, and wait to unload that sun.
And is that sun that you can see above Olorun that's growing as well? Is that can only he see that, or can enemies see that?
No,
as
enemies
well?
and allies will be able to see that as well. It's their way of knowing how many charges he kind of has ready at any time.
Okay, perfect. All right, the third ability, Consecration. This is really his only form of self-peel or anything
this,
like that.
Takes place of what might be the movement ability slot. And it is an AoE around Olorun, where he expends the light within himself, because he is the divine celestial light, to knock back enemies and slow them, as well as to heal yourself and allies. So you can see there, he's taking a little bit of damage. It's a pretty slow, fair heal, and if you hit enemies, it's going to knock back and slow them. There's also an additional component, because Olorun, you know, he's not just this god that dishes out the damage. He wants to be able to heal allies and gain something from it as well. That's kind of part of who he is. So every time you heal an ally, you gain an ally god. You actually gain a protections buff for every ally healed, and
Okay.
only you are getting that.
So you don't give it your whole team a prop buff.
No,
but he himself
you're getting it
gets
yourself, and it's
So
a pretty
having
short range.
A guardian right next to you trying to peel for you. You use the 3, you knock back the opposition.
Exactly.
Heal yourself,
Give
heal your
yourself both
ally,
protections.
and get yourself some protections as well. Certainly fitting for the lore as well. You know, breathing life into humanity is a big part of his lore, so kind of fits in with that pretty nicely, of course, on the 3. And then it combos pretty nicely when we get to the ult.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
Wow, this one.
Yeah.
Well, let's fire it off again quickly. This is Sanctified Field.
First of all, that animation there, with
It's-
he's got, is those the other
Right,
two
exactly.
parts?
That's his 2 parts. We wanted to play that up once more. That's Oludumare and Olofi coming on the sides, creating the Sanctified Field with him. And this area, as we've said many times, this is actually a massive area of time dilation. And what that
Yes.
means is that Olorun himself will be moving faster, he's going to be attacking faster, he's going to be casting faster, while all the enemies inside of this field will be moving slower, projectiles will be going slower, deployables will be going slower, they're going to be animating slower and casting slower. It's pretty crazy. But remember, allies are actually unaffected, although they'll be able to hit, of course, the enemies that are slowed down.
Yeah.
Sure, so it's not boosting your whole team, it's just boosting himself, but it's slowing the entire enemy team.
Yeah, we want you to feel like Keanu inside this thing, you know?
Very nice. So take a look at the movement speed and attack speed stats at the bottom left of the screen. He's not getting more attack speed. He's not getting more movement
yeah.
speed.
He's just gaining time inside this
Yeah,
area, basically.
no, like in this ability, like we aren't modifying move speed or anything like that. It is straight up, you are just going faster because time is moving faster.
And it looked, so you can use basically every one of your abilities to synergize beautifully.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
designed his abilities in mind with this time dilation effect. So previously Focus Light, if you fire that ability, you know, it pretty goes a set range. Now if you fire your Focus Light inside the time dilation field,
It goes a little bit farther.
yeah, give that a try and show off the range of Focus Light inside of Sanctified Field. Yeah, that goes
Dude, that is so
It
far.
goes quite a ways.
Now remember, it doesn't pierce walls, so
it
you're
doesn't
not
go
gonna
through
get
walls.
sniped across
It's not
the
going to
map.
gain damage, but it does gain some range.
I'll say some insane range, and that's where that horizontal targeter as well
Really
helps
helps
you,
that out, exactly.
so you can tell when that's going to detonate.
Other things are your overflowing divinity. Obviously, you're going to be stacking it even faster because your attacks and projectiles are going faster. And the sun itself, well, it's going to be, you know, shooting out those projectiles even faster in
yeah.
Sanctified Field.
If you got 20 projectiles and you use like Olorun inside that field, that thing fires
Right.
so fast.
And right there, you can see Consecration is going to be knocking up those enemies, making them even slower as they raise up into the air. And he's actually going to get a little bit more healing as well, because that effect on him is going to be amplified too.
Yeah, it's also
Oh
with,
yeah, his heals tick faster.
yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit, because he's getting 30% increased time dilation while enemies are being slowed by 40%.
So it's worth noting that for his abilities like his 1 and his 2, those like trigger times that you have, those don't get affected by time dilation. Olorun has special time dilation rules for his kit
Sure.
that allows so that those buffs won't come off until they are ready to come off.
And his cooldowns don't come back faster in that area.
Yeah, cooldowns are unaffected.
Cooldowns are unaffected for all gods.
Now on the other side, you can become CC immune and ignore this. You saw Bellona Eagles rally at normal speed. That's not affected. You can Purification Beads this.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
actually going to be a lot of interesting animation interactions with this. For example, Aegis for enemies, it'll actually last a little bit longer.
Oh, right. 'Cause
While
everything they do is long.
Beads and Aegis for the Olorun himself will actually be a little bit quicker as well.
Yeah, so
there's
they're-
going to be some very interesting things
There
that
are
people will be able
positives
to
and
do.
downsides to knowing when to use your time dilation for sure.
You run out of your Aegis faster. Again, only 30%, but you know that's 30% less
Yeah.
time you have that immunity.
So one thing we definitely wanted to harp on with Sanctified Fields is this ability was extremely ambitious. In
Yeah.
fact, at Smite, I think we wanted to do some version of time dilation for literally years. We wanted to bring it back to you on some other kits, and this was our attempt at it. I think we've done a really good job. And what that means, because of how outrageously crazy this ability is that we expect there to be some odd interactions, and we have oh my god, the list that we had to go through for this, I think
Before
Josh has
before
nightmares.
this, I had I was terrified by how many things
Yeah.
I had to fix.
But we did a lot of different things to get ready for this release, and of course, you know, Ranked is one full patch away, and we'll have them out there on PTS, and we're gonna be doing whatever we can to make sure that whatever you guys send to us as bugs, we're gonna be knocking them out, and we are well aware that there's gonna be some interesting interactions, ones that maybe are not intended from the gameplay side of things, but just let us know, and we'll have some known issues already out there on the patch notes. And, you know, we'll work on this together.
I definitely got to give a shout out to gameplay lead Nick, who helped set up a lot of the framework and a lot of the stuff you see for getting time dilation even out of the gate working.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was definitely like a team effort to get this ability up and running. I think it's probably easily the most ambitious thing we've done in Smite since the Mulligan.
Yep.
Yes, yeah, I can definitely see the
So make sure to
there.
play that PTS and hit us up.
Man,
all your stuff.
I cannot express to you guys how many more applications of this there are than what you're thinking right now in chat. I mean, I know that when we were playing, you know, on her, I think Finch got like taunted, but he stays in that taunt animation longer, so I got to kill him off a rank 1 taunt pretty easily. We were playing against a Vulcan. You'd see a Vulcan ult coming in, you drop the time dilation field, and you get so much more time to walk out of that projectile range.
We've also noticed some extremely potent counter play to this ability already, I believe just yesterday. For example, anything that where you're CC immune. So Kuzimbo's ultimate, really, really strong, because you're going to be spinning and still doing your things just as normal, and you're actually knocking Olorun outside of this area, so he can't benefit from it at all.
Sure. Yeah, gods that have those CC immune ultimates and things like that. Also gods that can get on top of him pretty easily.
Right. He doesn't have a movement ability. He's really got to use that one knockup. This Sanctified field actually has a very long cooldown as well. It goes from 140 seconds, scaling down to 100, which is one of the longest ones.
Global.
Yeah, exactly.
At least at rank 5. Yeah, I know Jormungandr I was playing against gave me a lot of problems because I can't knock him back. You know, he's staying on you. Basically, no matter what you do.
One of my favorites for sure is just going as Fenrir, ulting into it, grabbing the Olorun while he thinks he's safe, and just pulling him right out of it.
Right.
Yeah, pull him out of the sanctification field. This is... I mean, when you guys were talking about doing time dilation a while ago, I was like, there is no way anything like that can ever like work. It's just it's crazy, but it's working, and it looks awesome. Super excited for you guys to get your hands on it. Again, get on the PTS. There's going to be a lot of interactions that we want to make sure we can only you know test so much internally.
It's also worth mentioning that his deployable like field is a custom. It's a new type of like tech we're using for determining collisions and stuff. So this means even if you're untargetable, it's gonna know. It's gonna know if you're a projectile. It's gonna know if it's your pawn. So you'll see towers gain time dilated. You might even see the fire giant getting time dilated. I know at one point.
Wait, you mean my teammates might be able to actually tank a fire giant properly because they'll be slow?
I mean,
it might
help them.
You know?
Okay.
I know at one point, really early in his balance, we had it when we were testing just like how far we could push time dilation. I know Pawn was able to just solo the fire giant on his own at one point.
Yeah, deployable time there was a little bit longer.
It was way longer.
But
yeah, so it looks like he himself isn't time dilated, but all of his effects that are coming in are.
Yeah, so you'll see like things like August, who we treat as like being CC immune, he won't be affected by time dilation.
Okay, so there is going to be some counterplay to it, but there's going to do some nonsense in your games, no doubt about it. All right, we also have, we got to listen to the voice pack here, of course, for Olorun.
Gotta get rid of that tittle.
Attack! Defend! You are truly a shining star. I am struck with awe. Wow. I need no praise. Wow. Wow. Look inward and see each one of your flaws, as numerous as the stars in the sky. There can be no salvation for you. Just finality. The light is Olorun. Please do not claim that the sky is falling. I take that very seriously.
I love it, man. He really does just exude that, you know, I'm the best sort of confidence, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. We also do have the recolor card art, which Vivian, I know you were excited about. As am I. I mean, this recolor card art is just incredible.
Dude, this card art looks amazing.
Wow, indeed.
Yeah, so when we did the recolor, I was thinking, what is different than his base because his base is already pretty similar to a lot of mastery color schemes we already have. So I was thinking we could go with the night sky or the stormy sky, which is completely opposite than like a clear day, the daytime. So what we did is we turned all the metals silver, which is kind of like the moon, the moonlight, and then all the fabric elements we turned it into a darker shade of like blue, purple, and all the embroideries are like the night sky clouds. Sometimes you get that misty cloud in front of the moon, things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much how we came to the recolor.
It's gorgeous. It makes so much sense and it looks amazing. Also have his mastery skin card art for you guys to take a look. Yeah, I just love it. He's so cool looking. I love that the skin markings are also that blue color this time around. It really fits really nicely. That just looks incredible. His whole model just looks phenomenal. I love it. I'm super excited to get my hands on him. You guys don't have to wait very long. PTS should be coming up pretty soon. Make sure you stay tuned to all of our channels for that. Oh, that legendary is so tight.
I love
the legendary skin
ones.
always looks
Yeah.
just super phenomenal.
Black and gold.
Yeah,
Forever.
exactly. Right.
Always. That's what, I'm a fan of the black and gold for sure. Guys, hope you enjoy.